Call the meeting to order. Am I closer? Okay, moved by Councillor Cottick, second by Councillor Hudson, resolved that the regular meeting commence at the hour of 7 p.m. And be it further resolved that council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Robinson Superior Treaty area on lands that have been traditionally used by several Indigenous nations. But we would like to pay special recognition to our closest Indigenous neighbors, the community of Pictigon, Anishinaabe, and Nemizigamik Anishinaabe First Nations. Said it perfect last time. We wish to recognize the long history of First Nations and Métis people in our region specifically and show respect to them today. All in favor? Carried. Okay, any disclosure of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? Being none. Approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Cottick, resolved that the agenda be approved as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Delegations or presentations, adoption of the minutes. Moved by Councillor Cottick, seconded by Councillor Hudson, resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting held on June 11th, 2025 are adopted as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Cottick, seconded by Councillor Hudson, resolved that the minutes of the special council meeting held June 18th, 2025 are adopted as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Okay, no petitions, correspondence. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Cottick, resolved that the correspondence item 08-01 to 08-02 be received and filed. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Cottick, resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Thunder Bay District Board of Health held May 21st, 2025 be accepted as received. All in favor? Carried. Okay, verbal update. I just want to say kudos to the staff and all the managers for working on this budget. I know it's a stressful time and we'll get through it. It's looking good. Okay, thank you very much. Over to you, Brian.
And you know, other than doing budgetary issues, other issues that are office maintenance, let's put it that way, and certainly see we had a very successful Pride Day. Very successful July 4th, July 1st, except for the big win. But other than that, it was certainly very well. We see that the rec center has come on pretty well. Looks like it's going to be done. There is a foreseeable future.
Yes.
And with that, we also can say that we've contacted the contractor for the library, and as soon as he's in, which is, I would assume anytime now, Tyler.
2 weeks here.
Yeah, and he assures us that we'll be done once he gets inside. That's pretty much day to day and figuring out everything and looking for money.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay, business. Moved by Councillor Cottick, second by Councillor Hudson, resolved that council is in receipt of administration report TR 2025-04 submitted by Aaron McGregor, treasurer, regarding the 2025 municipal operating and capital budget.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. So before you is the 2025 proposed municipal operating and capital budgets along with the accompanying report. It's quite similar to what was tabled back in June. The one difference was some employment grant funding was missed in the initial draft, so that has now been included. That's the one revision that was made. It's a small revision, and the difference to the operating fund that revision caused was put against the reserve draw, so it reduced the amount of reserves that we would be taking for operations. If anyone has any questions about the budget, I'm happy to take them.
Through the chair. So regarding reserves, I know it's not something we like to be dipping into, it's happened. Is there a long-term plan to get away from that, and what's the concern? Well, I know what the concerns are, but what's the long-term plan on that?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, of course, as I've said at this table the last couple of years through the budget processes, using reserves for operations is not the sustainable strategy, and it something needs to change, if that is the financial strategy. The reason why I and administration are comfortable tabling a reserve draw once again is we've performed much better than expected in 2023 and 2024. The amount that was required for our reserves was significantly less, and in fact, 2023, there was no requirement for reserves, and 2024, depending on how the Northern Broadband proceeds that were mentioned last meeting are handled, we may be looking at either a significantly smaller draw from reserves than we were planning, or no draw from reserves at all, depending on how we handle the proceeds of the transaction. So a major area in our budget where we've seen a lot of change over the last few years is, again, garbage and recycling. So we do have a contract with GFL until 2029, and while we are looking at our different options with respect to that contract, we do know that we'll be free to explore options in 2029. Therefore, we expect to have the option to realize significant operating savings then. So it is a short to medium term situation that we're in as far as the increased operating costs. So for that reason, it's not as if we're operating with use of reserves with no plan or nothing on the horizon as far as an increase in operating costs. So the hope is through decreasing our operating costs over the next few years, and then a significant potential decrease in 2029, we expect to balance the budget and not be using reserves.
Thank you.
Anything else? No, I don't have any questions. The only comment I have is, like I heard on the news that Thunder Bay was actually raising 3.5%. That seems to be, status quo across the board, basically due to inflation and the cost of everything. So for us to come at 3.2, even with the little drop from the reserve, I think is fair. So, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and further that council receives the attached 2025 operating and capital budgets for review and consideration, and further that council receives the recommended 2025 contributions under donation policy 2023-58 for review and consideration, and further that council directs staff to continue to seek public input on the 2025 budgets for a 2-week period, and further that council directs staff to bring the final version of the 2025 budgets to a special meeting to be held in July 2025. All in favor? Okay. All good, Kathy?
Yeah, I just didn't realize that the donation part of it was part of that whole thing. I just had a question, it's okay.
Oh, okay,
Hasn't been called carried yet.
right. Okay, so you go ahead and ask your question.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
my apologies. I
No,
didn't
no
realize it
problem.
was part of all the
Yeah,
same.
all good.
Sorry for you, Mr. Chair, that was an oversight on my part as well. That is another component of the report that was not there on the last report. My apologies.
Okay. So go right ahead, Councillor Hudson.
So it's just in regards to one of the requests. Oh, my apologies through the chair. It was in regards to one of the requests, the amount they requested was unknown. Based on what it was they were asking for, and I just wondered why there was an actual dollar value put in to the request that we received. When they didn't have an actual dollar value on their
Was
request.
this with respect to the camera installation
Yes.
request? Yes, so in keeping with the policy, which is $1,000 threshold set in the policy by council. We determined that it would be adequate to put a limit, a maximum of $1,000. That doesn't mean that, you know, it's a $1,000 check. I believe I should have brought the report back up with me, but I believe it says up to 1,000 reimbursement based on actual expense. So it's not a blank check per se.
Yeah, no, I realized it would only be up to $1,000, I just was curious, because they hadn't asked for a specific amount, but it'll only, whatever they come back with, this is what was spent, and that's what they. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Okay.
No problem.
Do a maximum of 1,000, okay. Perfect, so all in favor? Carry. Thank you. Okay, next. Moved by Councillor Hudson, second by Councillor Cottick. Whereas section 239(4) of the Municipal Act 2001, SO 2001 C25 provides that before holding a meeting or part of a meeting that is to be closed to the public, a municipality or local board or committee of either of them shall state by resolution the fact of holding of the closed meeting and the general nature of the matter to be considered at the closed meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that this meeting is hereby closed to the public as the subject matter being discussed falls under the following sections. Section 239(2)B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, staff matters. All in favor? Carried.